Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Championship preview and predictions round 33. Oh, it's nearly 10 to go, isn't it? It flies by, doesn't it? But we're up to round 33 in the Championship this weekend. 3-game week next week, 33, 34, 35, 11 to go. After that, strap yourself in, everybody, and strap yourself in for today's preview and predictions show. I want your help with all 12 of the fixtures. Let me know what you think is going to be going down in the Championship this weekend. We'll go through every single team. And I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Let's say some hellos. JC, TJ, Neil, Catherine, HS, Cole, Mr. E, Chris, Lenny, Daniel, and Fulham 58. We said hi to everybody there in the chat. Will, do me a favor, guys. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes in the hour. Please hit that like button. Really helps the stream go great guns. And I can take that off the ticker at the bottom and put the running order on. We'll get into the first game very soon. We'll just say a quick thank you to the Donovan brothers who sponsor. They're our fan sponsors of this preview show. Sponsor in memory of their dad, Dennis, and brother, Mike, both sorely missed, cheering on Millwall from above. Thank you to the Donovan brothers. You will see up there, we're partnered with Betfair and Football 365. Football 365 is the home of the Championship predictor, but if you've clicked on it, you may or may not know it's broken again. So I've just checked in with the boss on that one, and we will try our utmost and get that fixed ASAP with the round starting tomorrow. So don't worry. I will make a note of all my predictions and transfer them in over there. So we will still be checking in with betfair.com for each game. Any more hellos in the chat here? Luke, Dave, Simon, Hamza, Bournemouth, Germany. There we go. Right. Let's get into game number one. You can give me your thoughts and your predictions in the chat. It is Fulham versus Huddersfield. Leaders Fulham versus 5th place Huddersfield. So it's an all top 6 clash, this one. Get your predictions in, please. Fulham, draw, or Huddersfield. I've got an annoying bit of hair there, haven't I? It's really annoying me, big stuff. Maybe I have to tie it up. Hey? Fulham, draw, Huddersfield. Fulham, draw, or Huddersfield in this one. Get your predictions in. Fulham flying away at the top of the table, aren't they? They're 6 points clear of Bournemouth in second place. They are 10 points clear of Blackburn in third with 2 games in hand. By God, Fulham looking real hot favourites for the title. And I think the thing I like about Fulham now is how settled does their team look. We know exactly who's going to be playing if everybody's fit now, and you would imagine they are going to power on through to the end of the season. Huddersfield are good, and they're undefeated in 12, I think. But away to Fulham, there you go. It's going to be a difficult one, isn't it? Let me know your thoughts in this one. 3 draws in the last 4 for Huddersfield, including 2 nil-nillers in a row. Maybe the goals drying up a little bit, certainly on the evidence of those last 2 games. Get your thoughts in the chat. Hit the like button as well, for goodness sakes. Fulham, draw, or Huddersfield. Fulham, draw, or Huddersfield. Let me know how you see this one going. Let me give you the numbers. So in the form table, Fulham by 7. In the XG, Fulham by 12. Homes and aways, only Fulham by 2 in that one, interestingly. Goals scored and goals against. Fulham are now top of those particular lists as well. So Fulham by 7 and Fulham by 9. In the table, though, the smallest disparity, which would maybe say there's some, what's the opposite of recency bias? Historical bias towards Huddersfield, maybe, because they're only 4 behind in that one. Let me know how you see this one going. Fulham, draw, Huddersfield. Fulham, draw, or Huddersfield. Let's get into the comments and I'll give you my predictions. What are we saying here then? Draw, Fulham, 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 Fulham to edge it. Fulham to put an end of Huddersfield, 14 games unbeaten. There you go. I said they were good, didn't I? I didn't realise he got that. I thought it was 12, wasn't it? Maybe I thought that 2 games ago. Narrow home win, Fulham. Fulham home. And apologies if you saw that language, Iain. Can you calm it down in the chat, please? I'm just going to put you in the timeout for 5 minutes indeed. Apologies if you're offended by Ewan's language. If we can try and be bound by the realms of decency in the chat, please, and behave like civilized adults. That would be really, really lovely. Apologies if you saw that rude F word up on the screen there from Iain. What do I think in this one? I keep being right by going home and predicting Fulham of late. Let's head over to Betfair and see what we can get. Do we think Huddersfield are going to score? They're good on set plays. Maybe they'll get themselves a goal. Okay, a few of you said narrow. Let me go 2-1 then, and you can get 13 to 2 on that. I'll go 2-1 to Fulham. Head over to betfair.com. Please gamble responsibly. BeGambleAware.org. 2-1 to Fulham for me. And we will move on to Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. How about this one on Friday night? Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. Get your predictions in. Bournemouth draw, Forest. Bournemouth draw or Forest. It is the Friday night game on Sky Sports. I'm sure plenty of you can watch it. I've got to go to work, so you'll have to catch up with me on the review or on the Saturday Super Stream with that one. I sadly will not be watching alone. Don't worry, we'll get you some content for tomorrow. Get your predictions in, though, Bournemouth draw or Forest. And this is a real key game, this, because, and we said this about Cardiff and Peterborough, didn't we? You can, if the result goes to the team that's higher in the table, you can really start looking at, are things getting shut off? And then the opposite is true. If Forest go to Bournemouth and win, not only does that close them, put them into 50-point territory, everyone else gets a bit of a boost who's in the chasing pack. So Forest wouldn't just be doing it for themselves, they'd be doing it for Blackburn, QPR and Huddersfield as well, because Bournemouth have looked... what's the right word to use? Effective lately, haven't they? 3 straight wins, 2 of them after their big deadline day dealings. Difficult one to call, isn't it? Forest have been good of late as well. I can only see the one defeat in there in recent times. It's Cardiff away, wasn't it? Interesting one. Let me know your thoughts. Bournemouth draw or Forest? Bournemouth draw or Forest? Form table. Bournemouth by 5. XG Bournemouth by 8. Homes and aways, interestingly, Forest by 5. Forest are better away than Bournemouth are at home at the moment. And then goals scored for and against is very good for both teams. Bournemouth are second and first for scored and fewest conceded. Forest are 5th and 6th. So yes, Bournemouth are kind of elite in those 2 categories, but Forest are not bad in the table. Bournemouth obviously by 5. There's something here for this one. Let me know your thoughts. I have not decided, so I will see what you lot say in the chat. A couple of people playing their 0-0 straight away there. Forest, draw. Bournemouth, Forest. Flip the coin and it landed on Forest. There you go. Bournemouth, draw. Desmond, Evening Wolves FI. Forest, Bournemouth, draw. Don't know what that means. 1-0. Bournemouth, Forest, Jerry's weather permitting. Yeah. It was a bit of an Samba out for this one. He got himself suspended, didn't he? Oh, crikey. What am I going to go for? I don't see Forest winning it, but they might get a point, mightn't they? Oh, I think Bournemouth are going to win, I have to say. I think Forest will get close in this one. Might even be like a 1-0 or something. Oh, I don't want to be boring and go 2-1 home wins all the way. Or will it be a draw? Oh, I'm torn. Go on. We'll go with the fun result then. Draw! That'll put the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit, won't it? I'll go for a 1-1er on there and Cooper to kind of go and snatch something reasonably useful, which would damage Bournemouth, wouldn't it, as well? The draw is 11-2 over with betfair.com. You can see 1-1, 11-2. Please gamble responsibly if you are going to have a go on that one. How are we doing for likes at the moment? What does my phone tell me? It tells me very little. 27 likes. Excellent. Please hit the like button. Let's see if we can get 50 in the hour. We are on air. I've gone for Bournemouth on that one. Let's move on. And it's Blackburn versus Middlesbrough. Get your predictions in, please. Blackburn, draw, or Middlesbrough. Blackburn, draw, Borough. Blackburn, draw, Borough. Blackburn are trending down, aren't they? And that's why we're talking about Bournemouth maybe getting a little bit of a decisive position that they're in. Blackburn have only got 2 points in the last 4 games, and they've stopped scoring. And Ben Brereton Diaz is not going to be around for this one. So I don't know. Does the trend continue? They're at home, though, and they're very good at home, Blackburn. In fact, they're top of the 8-game form charts for everybody's last 8 games. Millwall are in pretty good nick. Look, we said it a million times with Gary Rowett. When they win a couple of games, we look back and because they're set up in the way they're set up, you think, oh, they haven't lost many in that run. And then they lose a couple and you're like, oh, they haven't won for ages. They're that type of team with the amount of draws Millwall get double figures again this season. But they have won 2 on the bounce, both of them at the Den, it needs to be said. But against QPR and Cardiff have been in good form and QPR have been decent at the top of the table. So I don't know. Is there something there without the Chilean sensation? Get your predictions in. Blackburn draw, Millwall, Blackburn draw, or Millwall. Numbers, not great in the form, actually. Millwall by 4. Blackburn are 19th in the form table. 19th in the form table and 3rd in the league table. Interesting. XG, Blackburn by 7. Homes and aways. Blackburn are the best home team in the league over the last 8. Millwall, 20th best. Goals scored is an interesting one. Millwall don't score many. Blackburn are in the top 6 for both most scored and fewest conceded. Millwall, I should have had circled on my list. I'll do it right now. Are also in the top 6 for fewest goals conceded. The table, Blackburn by 11. I wonder, could you play your 0-0 card on this one? I wonder, Blackburn are goal shy. Millwall are managed by Gary Rowett. We'll see what the chat's saying in terms of that. Let's dive in here. Where are we going? Did I say Borough at some point? Sorry, I meant Blackburn. Sorry if I said Borough. Where are we going? We need to say a big hi to Wolves FI. Thank you on the super sticker there. Apologies. Did I say Borough a few times? Sorry, it's Blackburn versus Millwall. My bad. We'll get on to Borough in a few minutes. Apologies. Anything that says Borough, I won't read out. That's my fault. Sorry. Draw. Blackburn draw. Sorry. Anything that says Borough, I won't read out. 0-0. Draw. Blackburn. How many times did I say Borough? Loads of people have answered it. Draw. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Lots of moving parts here, guys. Please be forgiven if I happen to get a word wrong on a stream. Blackburn 3-1 there. Draw 0-0. Loads of draws here. Apologies here if I've said a word wrong. My bad. There we go. Hopefully we've all got sorted out then, and I won't confuse the word Blackburn with Borough at any point ever in my life again. I might get this picture out then. There we go. Let's pull out the 0-0 draw. Why the hell not? We've got to get it out of the way. I think with Mr. Diaz not being around and with Mr. Rowett being in the dugout and Blackburn, not Borough, have been low scoring lately. 0-0. Go to betfair.com. 6-1. You'll get. Please gamble responsibly. Right. Let's be very clear that the next game is QPR versus Hull. It's QPR versus Hull, not Huddersfield or Hartlepool. QPR versus Hull in this one. Get your predictions in. Rangers draw, Tigers, QPR draw, or Huddersfield. We will be talking about Middlesbrough in 1 game's time. Okay, QPR draw or Hull in this one. And QPR have had a similar sort of slip, haven't they, to Blackburn. Only 1 point in the last 3. Less pronounced, but if they draw the next game, it would be exactly the same run, wouldn't it? Draw, loss, draw. Don't know what's happened there with Rangers. Maybe they just felt the pressure in the last couple of games. You tell me. Hull have been feeling the pressure as well. They had that win streak, didn't they, that seemed to get them far enough away for relegation to be a big issue. However, 3 defeats in a row and then a 0-0 against Sheffield United. So Hull, well, what are they bouncing back from? Because they've had just a couple of streaky win passages. QPR would need to bounce back from a poor run to get them back into the automatic races. And they've got to hope that Nottingham Forest do them a favour on Friday night. QPR draw Hull. QPR draw Hull. If I've got the right teams. Hit like if I've got the right teams. There we go. In the form table, QPR by 10. XG QPR by 4. Homes and aways, QPR by 4. Goals scored, QPR by 19. Hull don't score many in the table. QPR by 16. Look, all the stats make them favourites, but they've not been in good form. Get your predictions in, guys. QPR, draw, or Hull. QPR, draw, or Hull. Where are we landing? Unacceptable, unsubscribing immediately. I'm supposed to be faultless and superhuman. The unsubscribers are in. There we go. They're only jesting, I know. Right, where are we going to land here? Okay, Rangers, Hull, Rangers, 0-0, Rangers, Hull, Rangers, back to winning ways. Rangers. An upset, Hull, excuse me. Rangers, 2-2. That Brentford striker, Marcus Force, I think you are talking about. Bingley Blades used a naughty word, so I can't put it up, but I'll say 0-0. Rangers, back on the promotion train. Yes. Draw, Rangers. Draw. Force came off injured. Did he? Interesting. Hull better than their stats. How does that work then? How you choose to interpret the stats, or how you choose to interpret the stats. But the stats are the stats, and how your interpretation is different. But you think they're good, Balboa guy? They might be. We'll see. Wilkes could return. Sticky ruled out for 2, and Hoops suffering from vertigo. There you go. He agrees with me there, Simon. Rangers win. Come on, Swans. Don't exactly know what that's to do with the price of eggs, as my mother would have said. What do I think? I do think QPR are going to win, I have to say, and back into the promotion picture. Home. Let's go for QPR to click back in and get back in the goals. Are Hull going to score? They're traditionally low scoring. So I think I might jump on a 2-0. This all presumes that QPR are going to bounce back. Over with betfair.com, you will get 15-2 there amongst other prices. Please gamble responsibly, everybody. I will go for a 2-0 and QPR to get back into it. How are we doing for likes, everyone? We got up to 50. Yeah, let me just check on my phone, which I have to press about 8. 45. We're so close. Please hit the like button and get us up to 50 likes. Wouldn't that be a fine thing? Right, I think I've already mistakenly said the word Borough in this stream, but I'm going to correctly say it now. Bristol City versus Borough. Get your predictions in. Bristol City draw, Borough. Bristol City draw or Borough. We're back to Nigel Pearson burying his players in post-match interviews, which is very entertaining. But I think we did this at the end of last season in terms of Bristol City. Look, I'll say it every week. Bristol City have got a rubbish defence, but I do like Vyman, Semenyo, Martin, Wells up top for them. So I think they can score goals. Middlesbrough had been misfiring up front, but they won 4-1 against Derby, and it was Balogun and Connolly up front, wasn't it? Connolly got on the score sheet. I don't know. We're going to get a click up top. I think I'm going to forecast that Bristol City are going to score in this game because they do tend to, don't they? So I do think Borough need 2 goals, but they are more than capable under Krissy Wilder of doing that. Get your predictions in. Bristol City draw, Borough. Nothing to do with Blackburn or Millwall. Bristol City draw, Borough. Let me give you your numbers. Form table, Borough by 15. XG, Borough by 16. Homes and aways is really interesting. Bristol City by 4. Over the past 8 games for everybody, Bristol City have the 5th best home record. Middlesbrough 9th best away record. Interesting. Goals against, though, is problematic here. Middlesbrough are 4th for goals against, and Bristol City are 22nd. And we know they're in the same stratosphere as Reading and Peterborough, which is not a good thing in terms of goals against. Get your predictions in, guys. Bristol City draw or Borough. What are you lot saying in the chat? Let's have a look. Yes, are we up to 53 likes? Unbelievable scenes. Thank you, everybody. Right, Borough, draw. Borough. There's a Bristol City in there. Borough. You can always tell by the badges of teams, maybe the incentives that people have for certain results. So do try and go objectively rather than what you might need for your team for their playoff push. But there we go. We will assume good faith on everybody's parts. Borough. There's a joker. Bristol City. Borough. Stop it. Borough. Bristol City. Let's try and click on all of these. I'm going to go as quickly as I can. Bristol City are a weird team. Best away team I've seen all year, but low down the table. There we go. Wild the ball, too much for piss. Naughty defenders, right? Yeah. There you go, Joe. Bristol City aren't bad. They're very good at home, actually. You're right, Jay. I'll give you that one. Fella. They're 5th in the form table at home. I think I've already kind of given my prediction in that I think Bristol City will score, but I think Borough will probably be able to score more than one goal, in which case I need to bellow out the word away. Shall I go for a 2-1? I don't see Bristol City scoring. Borough scoring 3. So I think I'm going to lock in a 2-1 to Borough. Oh, will they score 3? Go on. Let's live dangerously. I'm going to lock in a 3-1 then. Well, I can't lock it in because the blooming predictor software is not working. But there you go. And I actually can't see that on my screen. So if you do head over to Betfair, here's a little tutorial. Show more score lines. 3-1. Oh, hello. 14-1. Bit of a long shot, isn't it? Why the hell not, hey? Bristol City 1, Borough 3, I will go for. See if they can keep scoring like they were against Darby the other day. Right, Sheffield United versus Swansea, guys. Get your predictions in, please. Sheffield United draw Swans. Blades draw Swans. Sheffield United draw or Swansea in this one. I think Sheffield United missed a trick, didn't they? They had that game in hand in midweek and drew. And, of course, they've drawn their previous game at Huddersfield. So 2-0 nillers in a row for Sheffield United. So maybe goals. Maybe it's not Blackburn, the only one with an issue with goals at the moment. Blades with an issue too. And a win in one of those games, and they would be tied on points with 6th place Borough. And, okay, they do have games in hand on certain teams, Sheffield United, but there's a few key teams they don't have games in hand on. 2 of them being Middlesbrough and Bournemouth, who are the key positions, aren't they? 2nd and 6th at the moment, if the Blades do have aspirations to keep this good run under Heckingbottom going. Swansea, I'm struggling with Swansea at the moment. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to get. Yes, they beat Bristol City 3-1 last time out. And were Pirro and Patterson back where they were earlier in the season when those two were perhaps carrying the goal threat for Swansea, carrying that output? I don't know. Swans are down in 16th in the table. They've got 2 wins in 3, though. And you know me, I love a 2 points per game over any particular amount of sample size. And it's 2 wins in 3 games. It's 6 points in 3 games. And one of those wins was against Blackburn. But it came down at the Liberty, at the Swansea.com. I'd be taking a liberty and getting the name wrong. And they've got to go up to downtown Sheffield, haven't they? Interesting. Get your predictions in. Blades draw Swans. Blades draw Swans. Right. Numbers. Blades by 8 in the form table, by 12 in the XG, by 7 in the homes and aways, by 11 in the goals scored, by 12 in goals against, by 8. It says clean sweep for Blades in the numbers. No recency stuff for us to, well, apart from maybe the last 3 games, which is Swansea by 1 point. But come on, I'm not doing a 3 game. I'm just finding something to put in Swansea's favour in this one. Maybe the goals drying up. Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat on this one. Where do I start? Where do I begin? I think with Catherine. I think home, Blades, home, draw, Blades, 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 Swans. Blades, Blades, Blades. Blunt Blades have been the last 2 games, Jimmy, haven't they? 1-0 Swans if McBurney starts, 2-1 Blades if he doesn't. Yes, the old player. Fallacy or fact? Who knows? We should do some research on that, shouldn't we? We really, really should. I'm clicking down all of these as quickly, clip the wings as quickly as we can. I think you're in the main behind Sheffield United on this one. Can Swansea go there and keep the score down? I don't think they can. I don't think Swansea are going to score in this game. So I think I'm going to go Blades. So I'm going to yell out home. And I don't think they're going to score, Swansea. Famous last words as ever. What do I think? 1-0 or 2-0? I think I might go for a 1-0 on this one. What do, to use the correct English, what do Betfair think to a 1-0? 5-1, short price. Let's go for it. I'll go 1-0 Blades on this one, on the basis they've been fairly quiet in front of goal last couple of games, and I think they've got enough to shut the Swans out. Right, up next, Luton and West Brom. Get your predictions in, guys. Luton, draw, or West Brom. Do hit the like button. How are we doing for likes at the moment? We did go over 50, didn't we? 58, it says. Can we get 75? Hit the like button, guys. Am I flogging a dead horse on that one? Are Luton or West Brom flogging a dead horse with their playoff hopes? They're only 4 points behind and 3 points behind, respectively. So, no, they're probably not. Get your predictions in. Luton draw, West Brom, Luton draw, West Brom, Hatters draw, Baggies. It's a difficult one, this, isn't it? Because we'll look at all the numbers, but they've changed manager now, West Brom. So, particularly the XG number, I think we need to start ignoring. I suspect West Brom will now become slightly less front-footy than with all the set plays and whatnot under Big Val. But they might be slightly more viable in terms of where their defence actually is on the pitch. I think they'll be, what do you reckon, 10 metres further? That's probably harsh. 6 metres further back than they would under Big Val. So I'm not saying they're going to be better defensively, but the type of chance they concede will be... Put it this way, if I'm a Luton fan, I think I would have preferred to play against Big Val for the transition, which Luton are good on, than Brucey. I don't know. I may be barking up the right tree, the wrong tree. You'll tell me in the chat, won't you? Always do. Luton draw, West Brom. Hatters draw, Baggies. Does being at the Kenny favour Luton in this one? I wonder. 8-game form. Wow. Luton third. West Brom 21st. Ouch. Awful. XG, West Brom by 4. But remember, that's probably in the main a Big Val number. And that ball being hurtled into the box quite a lot will have padded that chance. Look, okay, they didn't take the chances, did they? Hence why Big Val hasn't got a job anymore. Homes and aways, Luton by 9. Goals scored, Luton by 10. Goals conceded, West Brom by 12. West Brom still had the joint best defensive record in the league. So Brucey's got a good base to go from. Interesting, that one, because it's West Brom by 1 in the table, but a lot of the numbers do go with Luton Town, don't they? Are we going to get first win for Brucey or a really, really hard start for him here? It'd be 3 without a win, wouldn't it? Luton, draw, or West Brom? What do we think in the chat here? Let's dive in there with Luke. Luton, draw. Luton. Bagging Stefani score a goal draw. That's a good point, actually, JC. Light on goals as well. A few teams light on goals at the moment. Baggies. Luton, don't see us, West Brom, getting a look in based on the last 2 matches. Based on the last 2 matches, he may have a fair point there, mightn't he? Matthew's playing his 0-0. Get your 0-0s out, everybody. Right, I'm going to click down. Yes, a few of the 0. Let's put the picture up because I know you love to see them. There they are in all their glory. Right, any more for any more here? The new manager bounce. Well, Brucey's not bouncing. Lots of 0-0s. Did I miss a trick on this one? I don't know if I did miss a trick. Sorry, I'm clicking on all your predictions. There we go. When did Brucey last get an away win? No idea. Newcastle any good on the road under Brucey? Probably not. I don't know. I think I might go for Luton. And I like Brucey very much. I think he's a thoroughly decent bloke and had a great career, but could be a third without a win. Shall we go for it? I don't need to play my joker because they're one place apart in the table. Let's do it. Home. Let's go in on Luton on this one. And I think it would have to be, if they are going to win, Baggy's still not clicking up top, not being able to transition from Big Val to Brucey. So I think a clean sheet maybe for Luton, a 1-0 or a 2-0. Let's have a look and see what our friends, our partners over at Betfair say on this one. Oh, long odds on a 2-0. I might just put it in there just for giggles. Go on. 12-1. Let's go for a 12-1 shot, which would be 2-0 to Luton in this one. In which case, on that scoreline and that odds, I am going to click in the joker on that one. Just having a look at the odds. I know I went for a 14-1 shot, 14-1 shot, but hey, maybe there's value in that. So I've clicked in the joker there on Luton to beat West Brom 2-0 at odds of 12-1. Let's move on. Preston versus Reading. Oh, no, we don't have to talk about Reading. That gets depressing quite quickly for their poor old fans, doesn't it? Preston draw, Reading. Preston draw or Reading. Look, if chaos is anything to do with anything, this won't be a long conversation because it's a horrible state of play at Reading at the moment. Their fans are not best pleased with what's going on. Owners are vastly unpopular. 6-point deduction, approved business plan. And it looks like the manager wants to go. The fans want the manager to go. But the owners won't get rid of the manager because of the approved business plan. That's my reading of it anyway. I might be barking up the wrong tree. But yeah, not a nice situation. Not nice at all. Do you know, it was fairly similar at Ipswich in late McCarthy days where the manager wanted to go, the fans wanted the manager to go, but out of sheer stubbornness, I think, in mixed terms, I'm sure Paunovic and Mick are slightly different characters, but you had this same situation and it does not end well. It's toxic, isn't it? My toxic comes zipping over. Do-do-diddle-diddle-doo. Britney Spears for you on the preview show. Unbelievable scenes. Get your predictions in, Britney. Preston draw or Reading. Preston draw or Reading in this one. Now, numbers. Form, Preston by 14. XG, Preston by 8. Reading in the homes and aways actually by 2. Strangely, Preston have got the 19th best home record in the league in the last 8 games. Not great. In terms of goals, well, Reading just concede lots. I think they're in the 60 club, aren't they, with Peterborough. In the table, it is Preston by 10 now with Reading down in 21st. Get your predictions in, Preston draw or Reading. Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat. Where should we land on here? Here. There we go. Preston, Reading, Preston. Draw. Preston to end Reading's unbeaten run. Yes. 1 game and a 0-0 draw. Absolutely. Draw. Preston. Preston. Joker on Reading there. North End were awful against Posh. And Reading have more quality. They do. Have more chaos as well. But we accept all opinions here. Within the bounds of decency, of course. Preston, Brittany to win 1-0. Absolutely. Reckon Brittany would beat Reading. Does anyone follow? And I will say it's not me that follows her. My missus follows Brittany on Instagram. Very odd creature. Interesting, her Instagram, put it that way. Brittany 3-0, clearly. Are Preston now going to be Brittany North End, are they? Reading never have a dull season. That's very true, isn't it? Yeah, never a dull moment at Reading. Look, chaos relegates clubs. Oops, I did it again. Yes, you did. Chaos relegates clubs. So I've got to go for the streak to continue. Sorry, Reading fans. You do have quality, but it's just absolutely toxic. Mad toxic home. I always back Reading to score for some reason because I think they've got some quality. So let's go for a fun one here. And I'm going to have to click open Pandora's box over on betfair.com. 3-1 again. Why not? 12-1. We could go for an even crazier one and go for 3-2. I'm not going to. I'm going to go for a 3-1er, 12-1. Unlikely, say Betfair, but I'm going for it. 3-1 to Preston. How is the like count going? Please do hit the like button. Really, really helps out. I'm supposed to plug this far more than I actually do, although unfortunately, there we go. How are we doing? 4 likes. 66. Can we get up to 75? Go on, hit that like button before the end of the show. We've got 4 games to go. The next of which is Coventry versus Barnsley. Get your predictions in, guys. Sky Blues, draw. Tykes, Coventry, draw. Or Barnsley. I watched Coventry in midweek. They're a bit hapless against Hull, weren't they? They looked the more likely, I thought, to win on the hour and then ended up losing 2-0. Great goal by Bagan, by the way, for Cardiff. But yeah, they've got the air at the moment, Coventry, of a side that kind of are nearly good, but not quite. One little step away from another viable run. Was their run in the early season viable? I don't know. Lots of home wins, but I wrote about this on Football 365. The XG says it probably was viable for Coventry earlier in the season, and maybe people like me were getting confused by the sheer number of points that were being won at home by Cov. Barnsley, what do we make of Barnsley? Look, they've been rubbish for a long, long while, but they win a game, and because the tide is so low, and the snails are moving so slowly at the bottom, They're 6 points from safety now after that Reading draw. So our Barnsley, look what Hull did. Hull have won 4 in a row and 3 in a row this season, and they look safe, don't they? So could Barnsley go on and win 3 in a row? I don't know. Probably not. Get your predictions in. Coventry draw or Barnsley. Coventry draw or Barnsley. Form table, Coventry by 8. XG, Coventry by, 17. Homes and aways, Coventry by 2, but it's not good. 21st versus 23rd. That home form is not what it was for Cov. Goals scored, not a lot to write home about. As you can imagine, Barnsley are in the bottom 6 for both of those particular metrics. Table, Coventry by 12. Do Barnsley keep going, or do we get Coventry, who look the better side, do we get them winning? Paul, I want to say a big thank you. Oh, I like your hand tattoo as well, Paul. Is that? I can't quite make it out there. It looks good. £5 on the super chat. Thank you very, very much, Paul. Indeed. Are we getting our jokers out? I've already seen one in there. Where shall we land here? I think we're starting with Coyle. 3-1 Cov. Barnsley in a 4-3. Go and get money on that, Sarge. Cov. We've been generally awful in the last 2 against Reading. Oh, Thomas, I didn't think you were awful against Cardiff. Hapless, maybe, but I think awful might be stretching it. Genuinely think Barnsley will win, though. There we go. Cov. A few jokers on this one, on Barnsley. Barnsley, Cov. Any more for any more on here? Cov. Some more jokers coming in, fellas, in here. Was confident, and now Styles and Bussey injured. Thanks for the team news, Daniel. Cov. More jokers coming in. Let's click on all of these. Apologies if you just saw that bad language. Anthony, you're going to have to go in the timeout for 5 minutes. Apologies if you are offended. 77 likes. Woof. Thank you, everybody. Right, what do I think then? I think in the main, there's a smattering, to use a great word, of jokers on there. There you go. There's another one. Look. A smattering of jokers. I think we go back to form, and I think Coventry win this one, I have to say. So I'm going to hit home. Are Barnsley going to score? No, I don't think so. I think I might go for a cushy one then. Should we go for a 2-0 to Coventry? They just nearly clicked, didn't they? I think O'Hare looked all right the other night. Gyökeres has been in the goals, but couldn't get in the goals. They can't quite configure how to fit Waghorn and Gyökeres to get to work together. I don't know. You tell me. And with O'Hare as well, the Coventry fans were telling me they're struggling with the permutations. I think they're going to get this one right. So I will go 2-0 to Cov, which is 11-2 over at betfair.com. Please gamble responsibly. BeGambleAware.org. Only bet what you can afford. It's foolhardy to do otherwise, of course. Right, 3 to go. Stoke versus Birmingham. Why am I doing Stoke so late in the show? 13th. When did Stoke end up 13th? Actually, they were 14th a couple of weeks ago, weren't they? So that's how they ended up 13th. Surefire way. Go down to 14th if you want to end up 13th. Right, predictions in, guys. Stoke draw, Birmingham. Potters draw, Blues. Potters Bar. Stoke draw or Birmingham. Birmingham, well, I've forecasted a trend up, and they did win the last game, didn't they, Blues? Lyle Taylor's been in good form. I'm not sure how repeatable their sort of 3-0 win over Luton. I don't know whether that was down to Luton having a bad day, or am I being completely unfair on Birmingham there. In terms of Stoke, I've also forecast a trend up for them, because I actually like what Jagielka, Harwood Bellis, Baker, Philogene Bidas at the return of Powell does to their team. So if the trend has started for both, I make that Stoke have a better first 11 than Birmingham, but Stoke always mug me off, don't they? I don't know. Get your predictions in. Stoke draw, Blues, Stoke draw, or Birmingham in this one. Let me give you the numbers, and then, as you can see, I'm not entirely sure. Could be a draw, couldn't it? So, form table, poor. Birmingham by 2, but it's 18th against 20th. XG has maybe a bit more of a rationale of these teams are below where they should be, because it's Stoke by 2 and it's 8th and 10th. Homes and aways, what is going on here? 20th and 21st. They've definitely had lulls, these two, haven't they? Lull Taylor. The only thing to write home about is Stoke's defence. They're in the top 6 for goals conceded. Birmingham are in the bottom 6 for goals conceded as well. And in the table, Stoke by 5. So I don't know. I think I've got Stoke edging it, but I'm going to read your comments and see what you are saying. 84 likes. So come on then. Right, let me do a quick plug for this. Hit the like button. Let's get us up to 100. We normally get 100 in a whole 2-hour watch along or something, but in a 1-hour stream, there we go. I like the bad language. I try and seek it out before you simbing them. I'm just trying to keep my channel on air, Hamza, and that I can click that there's no bad language when I tell YouTube about my videos. So, but yes, I do appreciate bad language outside of YouTube, of course. Right, what are we going here? Catherine, home. Draw for Mark and Colm. Home for Chris. Joker. Is it a Joker? Yeah, it probably is, Lewis, isn't it? How far are they apart in total? 5 places? Yeah, okay, I think that warrants. God, I played a Joker on 2 teams, 1 place apart. Right, Stoke. Blues. Draw. Blues. Draw. 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 Stoke. Away. That looks like a home to me. 4-3 Blues. I see goals. Stoke. Blues only lost 3-8, and they were all against parachute teams. Interesting stat. Blues to nick it. Stoke. Yeah, we need to get a Desmond picture up there to pay tribute to the late Archbishop, don't we? He gets mentioned. Hernandez hat-trick. Okay, interesting. Stoke. A Lee Bowyer hat-trick. Okay, from the bench maybe. Draw for Jack. I'm tempted by Stoke, I have to say. I don't see Birmingham win it. Sorry, Blues fans. I'm either with a Stoke win by 1 or a draw. How many draws have I got on my coupon? I've only got 2. No, my instinct, my old piano teacher, my first piano teacher used to say, always go with your first instinct if you're not sure. Home. So we'll go in on Stoke on the basis of their defence, possibly. But then again, I'm going to back Birmingham to score because I like Lyle Taylor and Onel Hernandez in there. So I think I'm persuading myself it's going to be 2-1 by whatever logic or lack of there you believe with my waffle. 2-1 to Stoke is 7-1 over at betfair.com. Please gamble responsibly if you are going to take that one. How is the 100 like challenge going, you lot? I have to click on my phone to do it. It doesn't tell me on StreamYard. 86, it says. 14 away. Hit that like button and get us up to 100. Help a brother out. 2 to go in the preview set. And we can do some Q&A for whatever minutes we've got left over. Cardiff versus Blackpool. Bluebirds draw or pull. Cardiff draw or Blackpool in this one. Now, I'm a bit torn on this because I saw Cardiff win and Cardiff are in good form. Got 12 points in 4 games, haven't they? But I do think Coventry could have got something from that Cardiff game, and it was a moment of real quality. And yeah, okay, certain players you can rely on quality every week, but I don't know, in the bottom half of the Championship, it's more about what the team does than perhaps an individual player, or that player gets signed very quickly by someone else, don't they? Blackpool seemed to do all right against Bournemouth. They were winning on 85 minutes and ended up losing in stoppage time. And they had been in decent form, Blackpool. Do you know what? I fancy Blackpool if this was at Bloomfield Road, but it's down at Cardiff. And I don't know, has Morrison got a little bit of a winning streak or a winning mentality or a bit of positive momentum going there? You tell me, especially if you're a Cardiff or a Blackpool fan. Your predictions in Cardiff draw, Pool, Cardiff draw or Blackpool. Now, numbers. Oh, this is tight. Form, Cardiff by 3. XG, Cardiff by 6. Homes and aways, Blackpool by 2. Goals scored, Cardiff by 5. Goals against Blackpool by 4. Table, Blackpool by 4. That is fairly even on the numbers that I pay any attention to. So I think we really do have to hone into recency. But then again, if we do that, both sides have been in recent form, haven't they? And 4 wins in 5. That is a really nice streak for Cardiff, isn't it? Although Blackpool did have 10 points in 4, just 2 games back. I think I'm going to rely on the chat for this one. Let's see what you lot are saying. Final call for predictions. Cardiff, draw or pull in this one. What do you think? What do you think? Here, Cole. I think he's first up again there. Draw. Brother. What is brother? That's how we describe Scott Hogan, isn't it? In my phalanx of in-jokes, we need to write them all down, won't you? A shock for Eugene. I mean, I don't think it's a joker, is it? Because they're above them in the table. But he's gone Blackpool. Right, Cardiff, Blackpool, draw. Pull, Cardiff, draw. Loads of draws on this one. Draw, away, draw, pull, draw. I think I know where I'm going then after all of this. Cardiff, pull, Cardiff, draw, pull, Cardiff. Have I done them all? Desmond, draw, Cardiff, draw. Honestly, I'm going to be led by you guys in the chat then, because I wasn't sure on this. So I don't think it will be a Desmond, I have to say. Draw. It's either a 0-0 or a 1-1. But I think with Medine, Lavery, Yates, I think Blackpool have got enough to score. And maybe with Hugill, Ikpeazu, etc. Maybe Soda Cardiff. So I think I have to go 1-1 on this one. Let's have a look, see what you get. So the 0-0 was 7-1. The 1-1 is 5-1. Shortest odds on a draw there. So maybe there's something in that. I'll go for a 1-1. You've persuaded me in the chat. Cardiff 1, Blackpool 1. Keep going on the like challenge. See if we can get up to 100. I'll do this last game here, which is a pretty important one, I have to say. By the way, HBO, the Larry David story. You all know I love Larry David, don't you? Is on, I think, next week or tomorrow or something. If anyone can get me by whatever means, because I don't have the HBO app on that one. Anyway, Derby versus Peterborough. Derby, draw, Posh. Derby, draw or Posh. And the narrative I've been seeing in my timeline is a lot of people have looked at recent form. They've looked at the situation at Reading and Peterborough. They've looked at the game between the two sides last night and all concluded Derby might get out of this. I think right now, after that game, given the chaos at Reading, there's the most optimism I've seen around Derby surviving. That obviously parlayed into the fact that we've had the transfer window now. We've had the accord reached between Mr. Morris and Mr. Gibson. Mel Gibson, as Justin from Second Tier told me the other day. I don't know. And administration, we think, could be out of it within 10 days, said Rob Dorset of Sky today. So optimism abounds at Derby, and they're good at home. In fact, Derby, over the past 8 games, are the 4th best home team, and Peterborough, we know, are dreadful away from home. They're 24th. So there is a very serious argument that Derby can win this one, and they would go level on points with the Posh. And we all know about Peterborough's goals against column, which would then mean Derby would be 22nd. They've gone from minus 21 points. I know it didn't all come in one go to second bottom. They would then be third bottom if they win this. And I don't know. I, for one, think it's a plausible possibility. It's the championship, though, everybody. Get your predictions in. Derby, draw, Posh. Rams, draw, Posh. Derby, draw, Peterborough. Right, numbers. Form, Derby by 11. XG, Derby by 2. Homes and aways, as I said, huge disparity. Derby by 20. Goals scored, we're expecting a low-scoring game because it's 21st against 23rd. But it is Derby again. And Derby, in terms of goals against, the only metric that goes against Derby is the league table. And for God's sake, you can put that down to the minus 21 points, can't you? So, yeah. And maybe I've persuaded myself as we've been talking. Let's see what you lot are saying on this one. Lots of comical comments about both Reading and Peterborough last night. Apparently, it wasn't very good in the wind, let's just say. Where are we going? Let's start here, I think, with Mark, possibly. Draw. Anyway, Derby, Posh. Derby, low battery. Posh are bad away. They need to really plug their charger in, don't they? Rams, 93. Is that the like total? Excellent. Right, Derby, draw. Derby, draw. Derby. Draw, Derby. Banker home win, Derby nearly safe. Interesting. Derby, posh. Derby. 94 likes. Where are we? Derby was going to leave my bias at the door, but the Great Escape is on. Woof. Oh, it's a big crowd again. Those Derby fans have been tremendous in turning up in their numbers, haven't they? There we go. Right, let's click on all of these. Boom, boom, boom. 96 likes, by the way. There you go. 96 likes. Please hit the like button. See if you can get us up to 100 before the stream ends. We'll do some Q&A after this. I've persuaded myself that Derby are going to win this game while I've been talking. Home! And I've persuaded myself that there's not going to be very many goals. So I'll do my usual on Derby. I do think Peterborough are bad. But I can see a scenario where perhaps Derby get in front, Peterborough understand the gravity of this, and the game gets loose at the end. So maybe we could get a 2-0 to Derby in this one. Our friends over at betfair.com will give you 15-2 on that. But let's do it. Let's plug in 2-0 to Derby. There we go. Those are our predictions. We're 52 minutes in, so we'll do Q&A up until the hour mark, and then I will disappear and go and eat my dinner. Get your Q&A topics in. Anything you want me to speak about. It can be a comment that I can address, or it can be a outright question. However you want to do it, we'll try and get through a few of those. Now, apologies again. In fact, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to click on Football 365 and see if it's been fixed as I've been talking. But I know this is an outsourced technology. No, it doesn't appear to be loading. So hopefully the Football 365 predictor will be up and running tomorrow. I will tweet out as and when it is or isn't. Hopefully, really hope it is, because I know a lot of you play and enjoy playing. So let me go through my predictions here. I have gone for Fulham to beat Huddersfield, Bournemouth and Forest draw, Blackburn and Millwall draw, which would be a good weekend for Fulham, wouldn't it? QPR to win against Hull, big weekend for QPR. Then I've gone for Borough to beat Bristol City, Blades to beat Swans, Luton to beat Baggies, Preston to beat Reading, Coventry to beat Barnsley, Stoke to beat Birmingham. I've gone for Cardiff and Blackpool to draw, and I've gone for Derby to beat Peterborough, which will put them 22nd in the table. I'll allow you a little minute longer to stock up questions and comments and topics to speak about. How is the 100 like challenge going? Yes. Celebration. 101 likes on the stream. You are legend. That's legends. Legend. I am legend. That's a Will Smith film, isn't it? Anyway, right. Let's see if we can do some Q&A and some topics. Right. Favorite Prince, Andrew or Harry? Can we just go with Prince, the funk musician, and leave the royal family out of it? Hey, I ate my chicken rice meal 15 minutes ago. Very, very nice. Is it 3 from 4 at the bottom? I've said that for a few weeks now, Mark, so I won't change my mind on that. Wayne, comment of the day. Your channel is great. Keep up the good work. Did you enjoy last night's advert for League One next season? I was working last night, JC, so I didn't watch it. If I had been watching it, I would have been on the watch along, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't, from what you guys are saying. Ex-Everton striker Nias sounds for Burton, and they play Ipswich at the weekend, Eugene, of course. What do you believe will be the benchmark for survival due to the poor form of the bottom teams? I'm plucking a number out of thin air. I will do the maths properly, Alfie. Not 45 to survive, we can be sure. I've been saying 42, but I'm going to drop it to 41. And I'm going to keep dropping it, I think, the way things are going. Low. McDonald's, Burger King or KFC? So not McDonald's. Burger King. Do you know what? If you put the McDonald's chips with the Burger King bacon burger thing. But do you know, I think I'm a KFC guy out of all of those, I have to say. Isaiah Jones is a beautiful individual, isn't he, Nathan? What a player, hey? Ben, do you think you'll be covering Leeds next season? Low-key, I cover Leeds this season, thank you very much. Good time to plug the dearly departed shows, but I think obviously he means in the Championship. No, I don't see Leeds getting relegated. Bournemouth match going ahead. Storm Eunice. Oh, that's why someone mentioned Eunice. Well, yeah, let's hope it's not a complete write-off there. Has Chairs returning the new signings unsettled the team? I don't think so, Dave. No, I mean, every eye test and number says that QPR are better with chair than without. So I don't know. I just think they've just hit the buffers. Hopefully, for your sake, Dave, it's a bit of an outlier run for QPR at the moment. But no, try and put your fingers out. They might have just run out of steam for a couple of games. I hope tomorrow goes ahead. A massive game. Yes, absolutely. The Storm is a-coming. What do I think the future holds for Reading? I think they will stay up. Or do I? We're all in on Darby now. I might have to... if they don't stay up, there's bother there, isn't it? Are the owners going to stay in? I think the owners are going to stay in. Okay, so I think the owners are more likely to be there in August than Reading are in the Championship. We'll do some proper analysis and we'll do a relegation video very, very soon. What do you think would be the best formation for Brucey to get Baggy scoring again? We need two up top, Carroll and Grant. I don't necessarily think it's a team shape thing, Hamza. I think it's a philosophy thing, isn't it? And it's going to be a switch from Big Val to Brucey. But I don't mind at all a front three with Robinson and Grant flanking Carroll, DK, whoever. So I don't mind that. But sometimes when you're losing, you do need to go back to basics, or when you're not winning, rather. And it can be two banks of four and get two up top, simplify and work from that base. So Curtis Davis or Sergio Ramos? I'm going to go for Sergio. I'm a very, very big fan of Curtis Davis, but Sergio Ramos has been one of the all-time greats. The playoffs and promotion race is wide open, holds a lot of similarities to this 7-8 season, where unfancied Stoke... I agree on the count that it's wide open. Yes, it is. But, and I don't have the table up there, I believe, isn't that the season where... Don't Stoke get promoted with like 81 points or something, and Cardiff with not many more? I think it'll be slightly different in that one of two things is probably going to happen. We could get a 2019-20 season where Leeds were 10 points ahead, and then there were 3 or 4 teams battling for the last day. And what did West Brom get promoted with? 83 or something low like that? Or, in which case it will be wide open, like the commenter says. Or... You'll get Fulham and Bournemouth do what Norwich and Watford did last season, and they'll both move away and they'll be 10 points clear. We could get an 8-10 point gap somewhere, and I'm sure all you neutral people, or unless you support one of the teams involved, will be hoping that that gap is not between second and third, because that makes life very boring, and is more between first and second. We will see. What else have we got? Is Karanka coming back to Reading? Seems to be mentioned in dispatches, and that ownership, I wouldn't put it past them. So there you go. It was like watching two people playing FIFA and not knowing what the buttons do. Well, that would be me, wouldn't it? So there you go. Do you think some Championship games will be cancelled because of Storm Eunice? Hopefully not, but I haven't looked into it, to be honest. Although I did not sleep well last night. Bish, bash, bosh. How far up the league would you go in a relegation fight? Not very far up at all, Stephen. I think it's 3 from 4. Happy to be proved wrong by that, but that would take a collapse from one team and a big surge from more than one team, probably. So we will see. Which do you think will happen sooner, West Brom score or pigs fly? I think we've already commented on West Brom's striking positions there in terms of that that particular dynamic. Would you rather your team earn promotion or England win the World Cup? Being my team are in League One, I'll take the hit and say England win the World Cup. There we go. Stones or Beatles? This is not a zero-sum game, by the way, but Beatles for me, but Stones amazing as well. Chinese or Italian? He's put takeaway. For a takeaway, Chinese. In a restaurant, Italian. There we go. Bin collections cancelled here and schools closed because of the storm. Oof, you're out in the southwest though, won't you, Dave? Which always gets the worst of it. Who will be the biggest signing from the Championship? Oh, that's a great question, Mark. It depends who doesn't go up, doesn't it? Because it's normally a player from a parachute team that don't get promoted. Sander Berger, maybe, but it all depends who doesn't go up, who's a parachute team, doesn't it? That's always the answer. Only way for Reading to stay up is if Darby get liquidated. What's it like to have hair? Bloody annoying at the moment, Nat. I've had the one loose thing here. Any advice for someone trying to grow their YouTube channel? Be honest, JC, if this is advice for you. Be honest. Don't, say what you think. Don't say what you think is going to get views. And also be consistent and try and put some stuff out all the time. And that's all I've done. I don't know how successful I am. I know there's people with 10 times more subscribers than me, but we do all right. We've got a great subscriber base who are dedicated here. What else are we saying in the chat here? Don't think it's a two-horse race. Bournemouth have a few tough fixtures coming up. Never know what to expect from Fulham. No, maybe. It's difficult because you look at the numbers and they kind of intimate that it could be straightforward. But something mad always happens. I wouldn't have had Leeds losing 9 of the last 16 or whatever they did under Bielsa in 18-19 and Sheffield United steaming through. I wouldn't have even had Darby finishing in the playoffs in that season. Who would have had Forest and Swansea swapping places on the last day of 1920? Who would have had Parker not being able to get Fulham up automatically with Mitrovic? So, you never know, do you? Surprise, surprise, surprise. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We have done the hour. Thank you for your help on getting us 100 likes on this. I'm supposedly working tomorrow night, so I won't be covering Bournemouth Forest if it does indeed go ahead. A lot of you are worried about the storm, but we will get some content out tomorrow. We'll do a pre-record. Maybe we'll land it about 6 o'clock, maybe something like that. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Please hit subscribe, ring the bell. Thank you to Betfriend Football 365. We will check what's up with the website, Spinning Wheel of Doom there. And I will see you all again very soon. Thank you for watching. And it's a lovely, big, juicy, as I find the button, over and out from me. See you soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.